What's good, everybody? Time for a DL short. So, we know that Southern California is going through it right now with the fires. KCAL is, I think it's KCAL 9 is one of the media outlets there, local media. They have put together a video clip of the damage suffered in Pacific Palisades. Now, Pacific Palisades is the very ritzy area. Is definitely upper tier. We did a quick Google search. It looked like the median house, to buy over there is about 3.4 million, maybe 4 million. Depends on the size. Everything's about location, 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 and square footage. So I want you guys to check out this video to see the devastation that the people in California are dealing with right now. Let's check this out.
Last hour, we learned there are now a total of 10 deaths in the SoCal fires.
Oh, and as the smoke clears, we are getting a better look at all the devastation. KCAL assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk. Now, Mike, you put SkyCal over the Pacific Palisades today. What a vision.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable vision. And the reason we did this, and we wanted people to be able to, we understandably so, that not everybody has access to know how their home is doing or how their business is doing. And you heard from like our Tom Wade, his aunt was told that her home burned down, but in truth, it was still standing. So one of the reasons that we did this is because we wanted to give people, and we put our overlay on it, we wanted to give our viewers a chance to kind of look at some of the areas and see if they can find their street. So we put their streets up.
And this is really cool of them to do. Yes, they're going to get a lot of traction on their website. Yes, they're going to get a lot of people like me sharing this information so people can see it. But it's definitely, I think, is a proper use of their assets. The TV helicopter pilots are really good, and then the media folks they have riding with the TV helicopter pilots are really good. They have the best cameramen, some really competent pilots. So they went out and took this video and did overlay so you can see the streets, and they put the address numbers on the lots where the homes used to be, just to give you an idea of the kind of devastation that this fire brought to Southern California, man. I was looking at this, and for a moment, I just had to kind of shake my head there. And it's like, am I looking at Pacific Palisades, or am I looking at Hiroshima or Nagasaki? Like, if these pictures were in black and white, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's that type of devastation. And yeah, I was honored to work with those helicopter pilots, all the media helicopter pilots, media helicopter, law enforcement, fire. Just those pilots out there in California were, just top notch. I even got to fly with a few of them, got to go out on some flights just to see what they do. Man, I tell you what, I can say I can't say enough about those guys, how professional they are, how good they are. They work hard, they're very professional, they play hard too. But let's continue with this video.
We put each house number up on the map as well, so people can get a really good look at if their home has been impacted by this. So
Look at that.
I'm going to talk.
I only see like 4 houses that weren't
I also want
destroyed.
to let you know that
Look at that.
we have about a half hour of this footage. We were not able to get everywhere in the Pacific Palisades because of flight restrictions, because of some smoke and some other issues. But we've posted the entire 30-minute video to our website at kcalnews.com. We wanted to give our viewers a resource to be able to look through our video and see if their home is still there or not.
If you're in California and you're watching this, go to kcalnews.com so you can watch the entire video. They said they did over 30 minutes. They stayed on scene as long as they could, and then until they got called away to go film some other news that was happening out there, some other fires. But so far, just looking at this thing, dozens and dozens of homes, lots that are just empty, houses burned down to the ground. And then I think I saw maybe 6 houses that were intact. And then, we talk about, this is Pacific Palisades, it's a very high-end neighborhood. These homes are not near the median. These homes are going to be the homes that are closer to the top end of that range. So if the median home is like $3.44 million in Pacific Palisades, these homes are probably twice, if not 3 times that. Just look at the size of these lots. These homes are massive. So like it's square footage. If anyone's out here watching this and you guys are a realtor, you know what's going on in California, please leave in the comments below how much an estimate on these homes would be. I'm thinking like this big home right here we're looking at, 15,218, I think it says there. That's a massive home. I would not be surprised if that home is, $6-8 million for that. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But again, the median cost of a home in Pacific Palisades is around 3.4 million. But these are the bigger homes. I'm pretty sure it costs more for these homes.
And so that's why we're leaving all of our mapping overlays on with the exact house numbers and the streets on here. That way people are watching, that way people that are on our website can look at this video and get a sense as to whether or not they have something there anymore. And we understand that's obviously top of mind for so many people, but this area is so inaccessible because of what is going on. And it's, I can't, devastating. I don't even have a strong enough word to describe what we are looking at. And as SkyCal just slowly pans from place to place, home to home, street to street, this is all we saw. And I can tell you, Pat and Juan, we did this for about 30 minutes, a little bit longer. And our photographer in SkyCal said, I don't even think I'm halfway through.
Oh my.
That entire neighborhood has been wiped out. That entire neighborhood is wiped out. And they spent 30 minutes, a little over 30 minutes filming, and they don't even think they got halfway through all of the devastation. Oh man, this is insane.
And it's just the sheer magnitude of everything that was there. We ultimately had to pull off of this to go to the Kenneth fire, right? So we weren't able to continue to do all of this, but and the flight restrictions and visibility and other reasons. But we wanted to get as much as we could so that people can look at this and say, look, you know, especially because you see, and like Tom's aunt situation, there's a couple homes there that are still standing. So we wanted people who aren't able to figure this out on their own to be able to look at this video, and hopefully it gives them some sense of what happened, if their home is still there, if it is not. So again, the full 30 minutes of this, Dean and Matt from our digital team got this up on the website. There's 30 minutes of footage that you can look through there. It's right on our homepage, kcalnews.com. I also want to let our viewers know we want to do this for the other fire as well, the Eaton fire, but the conditions over there have been so smoky that we've been having a hard time getting the chopper in a position where we can get a view like this for the Palisades fire. So if
And the Eden fire is the one that's to the north. I believe that's the one in the Altadena, Pasadena area. That area, the homes would be more what you're accustomed to seeing, like what you would normally see around your neighborhood, for instance, wherever you are. But the Pacific Palisades, very ritzy. In that panning shots, I don't think I saw 20 homes that were still standing. All the rest of the homes were gone. The entire subdivision looked like it was wiped out by this fire. The entire subdivision. And even at $3.5–4 million a home, you're still, it's going to be thousands. It's going to be well over 1,000 homes, maybe a couple, 3,000 homes that were affected. I mean, that's well over $3 billion right there. Just right in that neighborhood right there was probably $10 billion worth of damage. Because again, those homes are probably closer to the top end of the scale. Will insurance companies be able to cover that? We know the answer is no. The insurance companies aren't ready to handle this kind of catastrophe. That money is not going to come from the state. California doesn't have that kind of money. Even with their GDP, like California, it's a very wealthy state when it comes to gross domestic product and stuff like that. But California doesn't have that kind of money. They're going to be turning to the federal government, and the federal government is not in a position to be printing money. So I don't know what's going to happen, but you guys saw that devastation, right? So, I'm definitely going to link this video in the description below. It's part of a live feed. So I'm not sure where in that live feed that actual footage is when they're doing the painting, but like he said, you can go to kcalnews.com and find that footage. I'll probably do that tomorrow because they're going to do that for all the places that were hit, and do that map overlay so you can see the damage. But oh my goodness, that's insane. And I know that's the 1%, and those are the people who make a lot of money. I know there's a lot of folks out there you're thinking like, oh man, those guys are rich, whatever, they'll be fine. Not everyone was that rich. I mean, there are people who bought 30 years ago who bought in Pacific Palisades, and maybe they got their property for, $300,000–400,000 back then, which would have been a lot of money. And now that thing is worth, $3–5 million. They might be wiped out. There's going to be people who get wiped out behind this. Just keep that in mind. Most Americans keep their nest egg in their homes. That's their property is their retirement plan. And if that is destroyed, that means that their net worth, their wealth might be wiped out. Now, of course, that's not the case for all those people. I think the vast majority of those people will be fine. They're wealthy. They're making a lot of money, but there's some people in there who just kind of snuck in, got into a good neighborhood and was doing good, and they just got wiped out. So this is very, very sad. Ooh. So here it is, guys. You know, feel free to leave your comments below. You know, this is well beyond politics. A lot of people like want to send those, you know, political statements about the how to, you know, the liberals and how they run it and all the stuff that they think is going wrong or whatever. Man, this is beyond that. This is beyond that. There's just people out here who are absolutely devastated. Well, out there, I keep saying out here. I used to live there for 25 years. But people who are out there absolutely devastated, that specific Palisades, but there's a lot of people who are hurting this that aren't extremely wealthy. Out there in Altadena, people in, you know, doing the Sunset Fire over there in Hollywood, they got hurt over there, losing their properties. There's some homes that burned down there. Studio City, there was a problem over there. There was a fire in Sepulveda Basin. That's where like normal people are. That fire was even out there far west as Woodland Hills. These are like where regular folks go. And yeah, the house might be $1 million, but you know, that's what the regular house costs out there. If you want your starter home in some of these places, you're going to be spending between 800 and like $1 million to get into a starter home. These are just regular people who worked hard, save their money and tried to get in there with some sort of help from the government, FHA loan or something like that. So they don't have to come up with the traditional down. Could you imagine having to come up with 20% down on a house that's 1.1 million, 1.2 million? Who has that kind of money? So anyway, I hope you're well. You know, just man, check out this video, send this video to someone so they can see that devastation, man. And if you can, please help those people out there in California. They're definitely gonna need it. I'm DL saying this is the I Really Want to Know podcast, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Take care.